Welcome back to Interview Mock Lab podcast.
Great to be here.
Today we're tackling a really crucial part of job interviews. Those, tell me about a time when questions.
Yes, behavioral question.
Exactly. You've almost certainly run into them, and honestly, knowing how to answer them well can seriously boost your chances.
Absolutely. Think about it. These questions are basically a window into how you've actually acted in the past.
Right.
Interviewers use them to get a real sense of your skills, your behaviors, and, well, how you might perform in the future. It's not hypothetical.
It moves beyond just what would you do to what did you do.
Precisely. It's about evidence from your real-world experience.
Okay, so we're going to unpack a framework that's highly recommended for these. You've probably heard of it, the STAR method.
Yes, STAR. It's a fantastic structure. Situation, task, action, result.
Let's break that down. What does each part mean, and why is it so helpful?
Okay, so when you face one of these questions, the first thing S is situation. You need to briefly set the stage.
Okay, like the context.
Exactly. Where were you working? What was your role? Broadly. Just give enough background so the story makes sense. Keep it concise, though.
Right, not the whole life story.
Definitely not. Then comes T, the task. What was the specific thing that needed doing? Or the challenge you were facing?
So what was your actual responsibility in that situation?
Yes. What was the goal? What were you tasked with achieving or solving? Be really clear about that.
Okay, situation, task, then A, action. This feels like the core part.
It really is. This is where you detail exactly what you did, the steps you took personally to handle the situation or complete the task.
So focus on I did this, not just we did this.
Absolutely critical. The interviewer wants to know about your contribution, your thinking, your specific actions. Be detailed here.
Makes sense. And finally, are the result.
The outcome. What happened because of your actions? What was achieved? Did you learn anything?
And this is where numbers can really help, right?
Oh, definitely. If you can quantify the result like, we increased sales by 7% or reduced complaints by 15%, that's incredibly impactful. It provides solid proof.
Shows you're results-oriented, too.
Exactly. Okay, so that's the framework. How about we apply it to some common questions?
Good idea. Let's start with a classic. Tell me about a time when you worked well as part of a team.
Okay, using STAR. Your situation might be, say, you were in a previous job launching a new company product.
Right. Standard scenario.
The task then, your specific goal, was to collaborate effectively across the team, maybe even with different departments, to make sure the launch was strong, especially sales-wise.
Got it. Now, the action. What specific things could you talk about?
Well, you could say you initiated a brainstorming meeting. Or maybe you helped figure out who should do what based on their strength.
You like saying, I suggested marketing handle social media because of their expertise, and IT take the website updates.
Precisely. Mentioning clear briefs, timelines, ensuring everyone is on the same page about the objectives. Those are your actions contributing to teamwork.
Okay, and the result?
You'd state the outcome. The product launch was successful, and if you have that number, like the 7% sales increase compared to previous launches, definitely include it.
See, that structure really gives the answer substance. It's not just, yeah, I'm a team player.
Exactly. It's a specific story with impact. Okay, another frequent one, describe a time you faced a challenging problem.
Okay, so situation. Maybe you noticed a pattern of negative online reviews popping up, and you saw it was starting to hurt sales.
Good one. A real problem. The
Yeah.
task then is pretty clear. Investigate why this is happening and find a way to fix for the company's sake.
Right, so action. What did you do?
You could detail how you dug into it, read all the reviews, maybe even called a few customers to understand better.
Okay, proactive.
And maybe through that, you discovered the root cause was, say, delays from a key supplier.
Ah, okay, so the action continues.
Right. You then contacted that supplier. Maybe they couldn't fix it. So you took the initiative to research alternatives and found a new, more reliable supplier, perhaps even negotiating better terms or penalties for lateness.
That shows real problem solving. And the result?
Improved customer satisfaction, fewer negative reviews, maybe even a recovery in sales. You solved the problem.
Okay, how about dealing with pressure? Tell me about making a quick decision under pressure.
Yeah. Situation. You give it a big presentation, maybe on customer service standards, and boom, the projector dies.
Oh, no. Been there. So the task is immediate. Keep the presentation going effectively somehow.
Right. Your action could be about staying calm, quickly assessing options. Maybe there's a flip chart.
Okay.
You decide to switch gears, maybe use the flip chart for key points, deliver more from memory, make it more interactive, pull in audience input.
Adaptability.
Exactly. And And the result, maybe your manager praised your quick thinking. Or perhaps the team actually found the more interactive section even more engaging and effective.
Turning a problem into a positive. Nice. What about conflict? Describe handling a conflict with a coworker. Always a tricky one.
It is. Let's frame it. Situation. You're in a previous role, and you overhear a colleague saying something inappropriate, maybe to a newer team member.
Okay, not great.
The task isn't just to ignore it. It's to address the behavior professionally, uphold standards, and support the colleague who was targeted.
So the action, what would that look like?
Maybe you calmly challenge the comment right then and there, but then, importantly, you spoke to the colleague privately later.
Okay, private conversation is key.
Yes. You outline the company policy, explain why the comments were hurtful or against policy, focused on the impact.
And the desired result.
Ideally, the colleague understood, agreed it wouldn't happen again, maybe apologized. You could also mention reinforcing respectful communication in a later team meeting. Shows you champion a positive environment.
What about when we mess up? Tell me about a mistake you made. Everyone dreads this one.
But it's a great chance to show self-awareness and responsibility. Situation. You accidentally gave a customer the wrong price over the phone. Oops.
Happens. So the task is clear. Own up to it and fix it.
Exactly. Take responsibility. The action is crucial. Plan what to say first, then call the customer back quickly.
Don't delay.
No. Apologize honestly, sincerely. Explain the error, give the correct price, maybe offer something for the trouble, a discount, alternative product.
Going the extra mile.
And importantly, mention what you did to prevent it happening again. Like, I created a clear pricing list for myself and shared it with the team.
Showing you learned from it and the result.
Hopefully the customer appreciated the honesty, maybe took the alternative offer, and you implemented a fix. Shows integrity.
Okay, how about initiative? Describe a time you took the lead without being asked.
Good one. Situation. You notice lots of customers struggling with a certain product. It's causing complaints, bogging down customer service, but nobody's really doing anything proactive about it.
Right, you spotted a gap.
The task then becomes, well, you decide to find a solution to improve things, to raise those customer service standards implicitly.
So you take it upon yourself. What of action?
Maybe you designed clearer instructions to go in the packaging. You could say you collaborated with colleagues to test them, refine them.
So working with others even when taking initiative.
Yes. Maybe you even proposed creating an instructional video, putting a QR code on the box.
And the result?
A significant drop in those specific complaints. Customer service agents freed up for tougher issues, better customer satisfaction, better brand perception. Shows proactivity and impact.
What about that tricky colleague again? But this time, collaborating with someone difficult, not necessarily in conflict.
Right. Tell me about collaborating with a difficult colleague. Situation. Maybe you had a team member, perhaps long-serving, who was often late with their work, maybe spread a bit of gossip or misinformation, bringing morale down.
Okay, that sounds challenging.
The task is to talk to them constructively about how their actions are affecting the team's productivity and vibe.
So another private conversation for the action.
Yes. You'd explain calmly, privately, the impact of their timekeeping, maybe ask what's behind the misinformation, give specific examples, but also maybe emphasize their value to the team. Stress the importance of everyone pulling together positively.
Balancing feedback with reinforcement.
Exactly. And the result. Hopefully you saw a marked improvement in their work and attitude. Shows your interpersonal skills and ability to influence positively.
One more quick one, acting fast. Tell me about acting quickly to solve a difficult problem. Sort of like the projector, but maybe bigger scale.
Yeah. Situation. You get a call at the hotel for tomorrow's big company meeting, like 20 people just flooded. Venue canceled. Panic.
Okay. Definitely urgent. Task. Find a new venue. Like now.
Right. Your action shows leadership. You immediately start calling other suitable venues. You weigh up costs, location, refreshments, availability.
Multitasking under pressure.
You find one, book it, then inform your manager, then let all attendees know the new plan. Clear communication is key.
And the result. Meetings saved. Manager thanks you for your quick thinking and saving the day.
Exactly. Shows decisiveness and resourcefulness.
So we've run through quite a few examples there.
And you can see how the STAR method gives you that solid structure for every single one. Situation, task, action, result. It just works.
It really does. It helps you organize your thoughts and tell a compelling story. I think the key takeaway really is focus on your actions, be specific, and highlight the results.
Absolutely. Use those examples and always try to connect the story back to what the company's looking for in the role you want. Show relevance.
And while we went into detail on these, the STAR method works for pretty much any behavioral question, right? Like dealing with criticism, persuading people.
Going above and beyond. Dealing with ambiguity, making decisions with limited info, helping coworkers learn, adapting to change, managing deadlines.
The list goes on.
It does, but the framework holds true. Practice using it with your own experiences before the interview. Think of examples for common themes.
That preparation will definitely make you feel more confident going in.
For sure. You won't be scrambling for an answer. You'll have your stories ready.
Fantastic. Well, this has been really helpful. Thank you for tuning in to Interview Mock Lab podcast.
Hope this gives you a clear strategy.
We really hope this guidance helps you tackle those behavioral questions with more confidence in your preparation.
Remember that STAR method.
And for more interview tips and strategies, please do like and subscribe to our Interview Mock Lab YouTube channel. We're putting out content regularly to support you.
Thanks for listening.